I'm Richard Lewis, reporting for CarRed.org, and I'm here with TaZ from the Frag eXecutors. Just want to say, first of all, before we even talk about this tournament, the last 3, maybe 4 tournaments you've been at, I think you've been playing so well, in really good run of form, top 3 finishes. How are you guys doing it? Because, you know, you've been in the game for so long. How are you continuing to play this well?
Honestly, I don't know how it works with us, that during 5-year span, we are playing at the same high level with some short letdowns. But at this point, I think that we all know that we have potential to win most of the tournaments, basically. But we are like trying to find new ways, and maybe that's why we are reaching top 3 every tournament, because we are just trying new things. We are trying to make us look better and play better.
What about in terms of the team dynamic? A lot of people, I know you've got this kind of small group of about 6-7 players. You rotate in and out for some time, and you know what it's like with the HLTV crowd, the 1.6 community. Yeah. A lot of people have been picking on Pasha. He's, you know, kind of singled out a lot of the time. As someone who plays with him, I mean, what do you think of Pasha's development within the team? I think he's playing really well at the moment.
I think that he's playing a lot better than at the beginning of the last year, and he had some ups and downs, but it was also because of his situation in life outside of Counter-Strike, and he couldn't really focus on Counter-Strike, and that's the time span when he had some downs. But now I think that he's starting to play up to his potential, even though he couldn't play so well this tournament because of computer we got from our...
I was going to talk about that.
I won't say who, but yeah, basically we hope that with new computer, Pasha will play a lot better this tournament, and he'll be our golden key to the victory.
Well, what about the tournament so far as well? I mean, you know, you guys seem to be enjoying it, with maybe the exception of the mouse sports game, where I saw emotions were maybe a little high at one point. Were you guys expecting an easy win there?
I think that we just need to change our game 100%, because we came here and we basically feel like we're on practice clan war or boot camp, not really taking care of games, not really talking about tactics, and that what really could cost us a few games, like against Cheap Times, when we had a really bad situation at some point on this too, when we won only 7 rounds as terrorists, as T. Okay, I said it 2 times, and also against Mousesports when we had 12-3 as CT side, and then we didn't even try to talk about what to play. We just sit down and started to play, and okay, now we need to win 1 against 4 and 1 against 3 and eco round. Okay, we made it, cool, but the draw is not really good for us. No. And just to not take anything from Mousesports, I think that they made a step forward. They're playing better, but we need to just talk with each other and make a plan for next games, because we need to play 3 very good games to win this tournament.
Well, next up for you will be TCM, the local lads. Do you see those as dangerous opponents, or do you think the draw has been kind and maybe you're playing one of the weaker teams still left in the competition?
I don't think that it's kind for us to play against TCM, because they got very good aimers, they got very good sniper in Freeze, so it's going to be tough on our best maps if they pick one of those. At this point, there's no weak team for me. We need to be 100% focused on every team, every game, every map, because it's going to be a hell of a fight. Because when you reach the quarterfinals, you feel like, okay, I need only 3 games, 6 maps to win this whole event. And basically, it's not so much when you play 5 days a week, 8 maps a day, for example.
Who do you think is the best team here, with the exception of yourselves? A lot of people think this could be MTW's tournament. They did win it last year, but it wasn't a real LAN, and it was just mainly Danish teams. But I mean, do you think Fnatic are in with a good shout, or do you, MTW's SK? You know, who is it for you?
I haven't seen how the other teams played, but I always think that MTW is dangerous, and from what I saw and heard, SK made a big step forward, and when we played against them on practice clan wars, they're playing really well, as always, but when the team plays very well against you, then you need to respect it. And I also think that Fnatic is always dangerous and very good. especially after the finals when they didn't click at all and they want to get some redemption at this tournament. And also Rage esports, maybe they can do some surprise, but we'll see how they will mesh against mouse sports. So that's my 4 teams and put us inside.
Well, it's interesting you bring up Rage actually, because they've got another old chap in there in the form of Barbar, and I think we've had Element was back here playing as well. There seems to be a lot of kind of older guys, kind of coming out of retirement and returning to the game. What do you?
Rage with Element? No.
No, not Rage. Element's not in Rage. Yeah, he was with Alchemist. Yeah, but I just mean in general. There's been kind of a lot of people coming back. I saw a lot of names I hadn't seen in years back playing. I mean, it's someone that's never retired. And kind of always been playing for this long period of time. What do you think of people that make this comeback? Is it a gimmick? Is it, are they doing it for the love of the game? Do they see an easy win? Maybe. What's the motivation?
I think that there is not even one person who thinks that Counter-Strike is a win at this point. At this point, even we think that it's very hard to win something and earn money during playing Counter-Strike because there are so many good teams. But coming back to your question, I think that many players like Barbar, for example, Modi, they were still playing and they were talents. And when you come to Sweden or Denmark or whole Scandinavia, there is a lot of people and kids and talents who never really got a chance to play on a high level. So I think that's it. That's why Barbar came back. That's why Modi is playing with the Rage. He tried to play with Norwegians and they are playing pretty well. So we'll see what they can do. But for example, we cannot forget about the TCM and other teams because TCM is always dangerous team. Especially we remember them at Extreme Masters Europe when they beat us on Train 63, for example. And they're a very good team, very unpredictable. If you want to watch their demos, that's the biggest mistake many teams do with good teams. You feel like you don't need to watch demos, but in the end, this team is only one step behind you, and it's easy to make 2 steps behind, backwards when you play a game.
Well, if we could just transport you immediately into the final and miss out the next few games,
no, we can't.
who would you like to play and why?
I don't know. Seriously, I just want to go game by game. We need to win against TCM, then we can think about who are we going to play. Because when we go so forward, then it's tougher to get through losing rounds. And you need to be always mental tough to win games. And if you think about flowers, then there's nothing good.
Well, final question then. What's in the future for Frag eXecutors? I mean, I'm always amazed every time you guys come to an event, and I'm thinking, is this going to be the last one? Where are they going to finish? What are they going to do? You guys just keep on trucking. I mean, it's an inspiration to anyone that wants to, sort of keep playing the game and have a long career in it. What's going to be next for you guys?
I don't know. I think that we are going to play through this year for sure. There's a lot of good tournaments, and then we will see. I heard some rumors that 1.6 got some problems with source, that we have too much speed between those games, so we need to find some secret ingredient to connect those two communities.
Well, do you have any experience with Source at all?
Yeah, we got experience because we played at Samsung European Championship in Source, and we know how the game works, but obviously not at this point, but we know how it worked 2 years ago.
Yeah. And would you ever, consider making the switch? If 1.6, there was no tournaments tomorrow.
I think that every player from Source and every player from 1.6 was thinking about it, that if Source will die, then okay, I'm going to 1.6 because I love team play, I love how the game works and the engine. And same with 1.6 players. If 1.6 will die, then I will go to Source. But hopefully we got new players, newcomers, new talents coming, youngsters talking to their parents to buy Counter-Strike 1.6. So hopefully you'll play this game some more with us, of course, during the tournaments.
Well, that's great. Well, thanks a lot for taking the time to talk to me, and best of luck in the competition against TCM and not another game in the future.
And maybe later.
Yeah. And to all the people out there at cadred.org, do stay tuned to the website. We are going to have more video interviews from here at Copenhagen Games.